Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, all of those things. Uh, I wanted to make this quick video to basically bring to light some things that I've noticed lately. And this shouldn't be a long video. Hopefully, this will be shorter than my usual rants, but I figured I would make this one. And it's just because of some things I've experienced. And on specific YouTube channels, it's something that if I've noticed that now let me just back this up and define in case anybody's watching this and doesn't know what I'm talking about. A gear snob or a cork sniffer is a person who basically thinks that the only good guitars are very expensive guitars and they have to have a specific name attached to them. They have to be made out of some kind of mythical tone wood that some monkey peed on in the Amazon, or a rhino took a poop on. I don't know, somewhere in the Serengeti. I have no idea, but or that a gorilla mated with. I have no idea. But when it comes down to it, it's got to be very special, very expensive, very perfect. Because it's all about ego and status for them. Not so much playing, but just the ego and status, because that's the most important thing. How other people see them as far as their own value gives them their own sense of value. They don't have their own internal sense of value. They have value in what other people think of them. So if other people don't look at them, they're very afraid of anybody looking at them that they're in any way less than perfect or less than cool, shall we say. And they're very, very sad. Very, very sad people. Very sad. And it just is what it is. But so they will take craps on budget guitars. See, I don't have a problem with people buying expensive guitars. They can buy them all they want. That's great. It's their money. They can do whatever they want with it. And they can praise them and, sleep with them or do whatever the hell they do with them. Hang them on the wall for all to see, so they can boost their egos and people can come in their house and go, "Ooh, are you cool?" But, it's when these people sit in their ivory towers and they point their fingers and look down their noses at those of us who buy budget guitars and thoroughly enjoy them. And guitars that aren't these spectacular guitars. That's when I have a problem with cork sniffers and gear snobs and people along those lines. Because basically, they're not just being proud of their stuff, they're using it as a weapon to attack other people with and make other people feel bad. And a lot of these people aren't just doing this out of ego. There are a lot of people that are bought off by companies and they have deals. And I'm talking about the YouTubers themselves. A lot of these people are what's called influencers. Now, influencers, what they do is the company comes to them and says, "I have product A. I need you to speak very highly about product A on your YouTube channel, and I will give you product A for free, and I'll also give you a fee. I'll pay you to say some nice things about product A that I have for sale here." And so the YouTuber makes a channel, and they're like, "Oh, product A is the greatest thing in the world. You can cure cancer with it. It's the greatest thing. It's awesome. You need this. It's awesome. You need it. Because look at all the cool stuff I can do with it." And product A isn't anything different than product B or C, which are basically the budget equivalent of them. That don't have the name brand or the hype behind it or the influencer. So basically, that's what you're getting as far as YouTube channels go. Most of these guitar channels you're going to see, most of them are a bunch of salespeople. They are there to sell you something, and they're going to sell you either their services or they're going to sell you their whatever they're hawking from, whatever company is paying them. And a lot of times they're also not only looking at you as an audience, they're basically advertising themselves. Please, other companies, send me more stuff, more money. And the reason a lot of people are doing this more and more these days is because of the rise of YouTube, of course. And you have grifters and hucksters on YouTube because the problem is that our economy, our world economy, has been so mismanaged by a bunch of clowns and morons that are in public office right now. In just about every country, we're talking about Trudeau, talking about Biden, talking about Harris, talking about all the others that are out there. All these countries, you know, that are just mismanaging everything. They are lying to you constantly. And a lot of people have been brainwashed into thinking that these people are on the level. No, they're not on the level. They are basically on the payroll of these corporations that own them. You know, big pharma, medical, the whole nine yards. And if you believe what politicians say, well, I feel bad for you. Because, yeah, politicians will lie to you left and right. Anyway, I just noticed that my title card is kind of off-center, but who cares? Honestly, I wanted to fit all those cool little pictures and stuff in there the way I did the little collage, so I don't care. Nobody else cares either. Well, maybe one person or two people will care. I don't know, who knows. Either way, it has nothing to do with the message, just something I just noticed. Anyway, back to what's going on now. So I've noticed that I expect it from a lot of the YouTube channels. I expect the grifting and being a huckster and selling stuff and not really giving an honest opinion, but giving an opinion they were paid to give. And that happens with just about everything, not just guitars. But my main focus here is on guitars. And you just can't trust YouTube reviewers. You really can't, honestly. You have to test out these guitars yourself, or talk to a YouTuber who's not selling the stuff, not on the payroll. I'm not on the payroll of any company. I'm not selling stuff for other people to buy that some company gave me. I'm not doing any of that stuff. I would never sell my integrity like that. I don't care. I'll starve first before I'll become one of the, some kind of corporate tool for people, for some shady corporation somewhere. I'll tell you what my honest experiences are with certain things, and I'll give you whatever, you still don't have to believe me. You can just go try it yourself. I'll tell you whatever experiences I've had with it, but go try it yourself is my main thing, Try it yourself, see what you like. That's the whole purpose. But now, come to this. We have all these channels that are selling stuff and grifting and trying to get your money so that they can get money. And it's because of our mismanaged economy. Not everybody's working regular jobs anymore because a lot of the regular jobs have disappeared. And it's just through mismanagement by a bunch of rich people that don't understand what real life is. They're so separated. These government people are so separated from the toils and the pain that normal everyday people feel. The struggles we all have. They don't understand. So, of course, they're going to do the bidding of their corporate masters, and they're going to just screw up the country and sit around going, why did I get reelected? It's because you fell out of favor with the corporation. So, regardless of the political stuff, now I've noticed that the meat of the whole thing. Not only are the people who are hucksters on the channels and running the channels, but they're in the comments section too. I've noticed that with a bunch of people, and they've been saying things that are awfully similar in the past 3 years that I've been doing guitar stuff on YouTube. I've noticed some very awfully similar things that people will say in comments, and especially when I'm talking about budget guitars and stuff like that. They will sit there, and the first thing they will say is, I would never buy a budget guitar because the resale value is terrible. Now, if you are going and buying a guitar, you're supposed to be buying the guitar to play music on that guitar and enjoy that. But if the first thing you are thinking of when you purchase a guitar is the resale value of that guitar, then you are not a musician. You are mainly a reseller. That is what you are. You may have some musical skill. You may be able to play a little bit. You know, you may be able to play some songs or do whatever and do a demonstration and stuff. But if the first thing on your mind when you buy a guitar is the resale value of that guitar, then you shouldn't be buying it in the first place. That's my opinion. But these are people that they come at me all the time. They're just like, why would I buy a budget guitar if there's any resale value? And I just got told today, oh, a guitar is a bad economy. You know, a budget guitar is a bad economy. What is this? Really? Have we forgotten what it is to be musicians? Or at least they have. You know, I know a lot of you guys haven't, of course. You know, but they have. It's not even about being a musician. It's about being one of these shady guys on the screen here. You know, that's what it's about. It's about, hey, I got this really nice guitar. Look at his Gibson. Look at his Fender. Look at his PRS private stock. That blue guitar in the center on the picture. You know, $10,000 guitar. Why? Why? Oh, it's because it's made out of this special wood, and it's really highly put together, and it has you know, it's been put together by master guitar craftsmen, just like a custom shop guitar. That's the greatest thing in the world. Snort, snort. I mean, honestly, really? I've taken budget guitars. I've matched $10,000 guitars with them. And I've done it over and over and over and over again on this channel. There's over 1,000, there's like 1,500 videos now. I think close to 1,500 videos. I don't know. I haven't even looked at. I don't look at the numbers. I just upload them on my channel, where I have played guitars that are budget guitars. That's what I specialize in. And they sound just like Gibsons, Fenders, PRS, you name it. You know, and they've done blind tests, the channels that are honest about doing blind tests, and people have gotten them wrong too, between budget and expensive guitars. It's then when you get these idiots that do well, not idiots, they're not stupid, they're just very clever, and they're great liars, where they do a test between, you know, supposedly blind test between an electric guitar that's an expensive one and a budget one, but they will mix that budget one so horribly. They'll put maybe a string or two slightly out of tune. They'll turn down the equalization, you know, just to make that guitar sound terrible, so people will automatically gravitate toward the expensive guitar in the blind test. You know, it's a common trick. You know, just more sleight of hand. These are all, you know, that these guys remind me of, these guys that run these YouTube channels, is they remind me of guys running shell games and 3-card Monte on the street. You know, if you've ever been in any of the big cities and you've seen these people running these rip you off games where they trick people, that's basically what they are. You know, that's what they're doing. And it's you know, it's sad. So you really got to test this stuff for yourself and learn that the guitar itself is not everything of your tone. It's you, how you play the guitar, and it's what you do after the guitar that is your tone. As long as the guitar functions, it's got pickups that work. It's got, you know, it's built so that you know, it can be played and be played pretty well. And you know, all the switches and knobs work, all that stuff, all the hardware works, the nut doesn't bind. As long as the guitar functions as a guitar is supposed to function, you can get any sound you want to get out of it. It's all in what happens when you're playing it and what happens after the guitar. I don't care what these freaking famous musicians come through and they keep talking about Tonewood. Why are they talking about Tonewood, these expensive, these rich musicians? Because the company has told them to talk about it. You either talk about Tonewood or we are going to take away your endorsement deal. You know, or some of these guys, they bought into it and they believe it themselves. That's entirely possible, but most of the time it's you've got to toe that company line. That's the important part. So that is basically it. There are grifters all over the place, and when people sit there and they crap on budget guitars, and you know, they're pushing these expensive guitars and they're thinking of resale value right away, if they've said, I'm only buying this guitar because it has a resale value, or I'm thinking of the resale value, as soon as they say that resale value stuff or economy or any of that stuff, you know you have found one of them skittered from under a rock or wherever they were living, you have found a huckster or a grifter online that handles guitars. Because that's what they're doing. That's all. They're everywhere. They're in YouTube comment sections. They're on Facebook. They're on Instagram. They're everywhere. They are everywhere. Just realize that online, you're getting lied to a lot by people. Because people on the internet love to lie. Because their egos cannot handle who they really, really are. And they're not comfortable with who they are. So anyway, have yourself a great evening, day, morning, whenever you're watching this, weekend, week, whatever. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you later. Bye.